What is up, everybody? My name is Nick, and I'm your host amongst the whiskey. And today we are getting into the rarest of the rare. Rare character, that is. Brook Hill. Bourbon. The fact that I chose this sweatshirt is no accident. As I thought about opening this bottle, I thought, peeling the foil on a bottle this rare almost feels like opening a Willett family estate. Almost begs the question, is rare character the new Willett in the sourcing game? A lot of people have had their time in the limelight. Smoke Wagon was a hit for a while, but rare character really feels like it's here to stay. Feels like they have a recipe for something great. And with a palate like Pablo's behind this, I know we're in good hands. So this is going to be a fresh crack review of King's Leap. King's Leap is a barrel that came to Massachusetts. It is barrel number 306. And this is bottle 42 of just 102 bottles. It is the vintage style label, resurrected from the original Brook Hill brand. I've been told by Pablo himself that this stuff is some of his best. So I'm going to crack it and find out for myself. Okay, popping that foil. Comes off nice and easy. The foil comes off the top if you want it to, so you can get a better grip on that cork. Nice pop. Okay. Pop that back there for safekeeping. And let's get into a little tasting, shall we? Oh, the nose leads with that vintage barrel funk. That oak aroma that only comes about when you use tight grain, good wood. Feels like it's been well coopered. It's likely had a long open air seasoning phase. Little flashes of citrus, little flashes of cinnamon. I can already tell that this is going to be a pretty complex bourbon. Nosing further, that is bold and bodacious. I get kind of a stag vibe out of it. Yeah, if you like old school stag, which I do, you're going to like this bourbon. Time for a taste. Okay, that is the first sip of the day for me. In starting this high in proof, I thought would be a harder barrier to entry. Like that first sip might be really potent, really big, and almost overwhelming. But I don't get that at all. It's quite creamy in the mouth. Mouthfeel, viscosity is incredibly important to me. I get some sweet notes of tangerine, dark Michigan cherry, plum, raisin, and a slow linger of fig jam. Okay, another sip here and this just keeps getting better. I get more of that spice tone coming in on the back end now. It's tingling in my gums. It's tingling up the side of my tongue. Sweet nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon. Really, it's just good bourbon. I know the category of bourbon is quite popular, and I know sometimes it catches some flack amongst the world whiskey scene for having kind of a narrow flavor range. And I think that's ultimately true. In comparison to the diversity of single malts across the world, I think bourbon does have a rather narrow flavor band, and this bourbon fits neatly within that band. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not trying to be overly finished. It's not trying to be unique just for the sake of being unique. At the end of the day, good bourbon should just be good bourbon. And this is good bourbon. Ooh, yeah. So nosing after a sip, I get some more pomegranate tones, maybe some more tropical fruit that comes about with hyper aging. So as you start getting into those double-digit age statements, oak tends to degrade a little further and you get some really, really interesting aromas. If you've ever walked through a rickhouse, this is that smell. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's good. One more sip for posterity. Okay, this is definitely a special occasion style pour. I wouldn't consider this a daily sipper by any means. This is a big, bold, bodacious bourbon well fit for a celebration, well fit for sharing amongst friends, with seasoned veterans of the whiskey world, though. I don't think this is your newbie pour, but it's also probably not for your refined palate malt friends either. This is bourbon. It's just bourbon. And there's beauty in that. It's one of those things that notes really don't do justice. You know, what do I mean by bourbon? Well, when you taste it, you know. Try King's Leap and you'll know. All that being said, your odds of getting to taste this are pretty slim. Slim to none, really. This is the single barrel format. It has a limited availability. This barrel only came to Massachusetts. There's only 100 bottles of it. So the odds that you are going to get to try it are pretty slim, but that's the virtue of rare whiskey. Rare Character isn't blending for the masses. They're releasing top-notch single barrels with top-notch flavors. They're putting great names on them, and they are earning the respect of whiskey enthusiasts everywhere. Where other brands might be paying influencers to give positive reviews, Rare Character just leans in on quality whiskey. I, for one, am very impressed with this bourbon. I would rate it, on a hot take here, first taste, a 4.5 out of 5. And I would give it the Keep Amongst the Whiskey distinction. This is one I'm going to enjoy sharing with friends. If you can find a bottle, get it. And if you can't, find a friend who can. That is going to do it for today's review of Rare Character's Brook Hill. This has been a wonderful tasting. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, consider liking, subscribing, dropping me a nice comment down below. I would appreciate that. Cheers until next time, my friends. Keep it amongst the whiskey.